Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 2nd of December up until the 8th, and we'll first look at a couple of games that have released without being in one of these videos for whatever reason, before moving on to the week at hand. So which games are coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. First, a few games that are already out, as I said then, and the first is Devil Engine Complete Edition. This bundles together Devil Engine and its DLC, Devil Engine Ignition, and this is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up heavily influenced by the best in the genre from the 32-bit era. It features hand-drawn pixel art, a blood-pumping soundtrack according to the blurb, and a point multiplying combo system to help you across the 6 stages within the game. The points you collect aren't just for high scores, as you can use these to unlock additional items such as extra music, stages and even playable ships. And I believe this one has or is going to release on PlayAsia. I seem to remember seeing it on there. It's one I've been tempted to pick up if you are a physical collector. It's out now on the eShop as I mentioned, and it will sell for £22.49 or your regional equivalent, or you can pick the base game up separately as well as the DLC, but obviously it will cost you a bit more if you want both than buying it in this bundle. Also already out, we have the King of Fighters 13 Global Match. King of Fighters 13 first came out in 2010 and was the final chapter in the Ash saga, and as far as I'm aware, I believe it was the last of the series to use sprites for its characters. This Global Match edition adds rollback netcode, as well as brand new online lobbies that allow you to join or spectate on matches, and it features a roster of 36 playable characters. King of Fighters is a series that I've always admired from afar. It's one that I've played a lot less than other fighting games of its era. King of Fighters 98 probably being the one I've put the most time in, followed by 2000 I would say, but my experiences of it back then were very positive, and it's nice to see some of these older fighting games be re-released with that rollback netcode. This one will sell for £17.99, although there is a deluxe edition that's a bit more expensive, and again it is out now. And finally, for the games already out, we have Football Manager 2024 Touch. This is the 7th, I believe, entry of this series to make it to the Switch now, and whilst being a streamlined version of the full fat edition of this series that you'll find on PC, it still has a huge amount of content to it, including a database of thousands of players and teams from across the world. What's sometimes let this series down on Switch is the controls, a very difficult thing to get right obviously with its PC roots, but I do feel this newest entry actually has done a better job than the last few, with a few tweaks such as radial wheels really helping. I have reviewed this one. If you want the full story, I'll put a link to that review in the top right hand corner. Let's move on to the games coming out this week, and the first of those is a Highland Song. This calls itself a wild adventure through the Scottish Highlands with open platforming and dynamic storytelling. It comes from the creator of 80 Days in Heaven's Vault and sees you playing as Moira McKinnon, who is attempting to run away, and to do so must cross the Scottish Highlands to reach the sea. It says you'll be scaling peaks and spelunking in caves, surviving wind, rain, cold and hunger, and learning the secrets and stories of the hills as you go. The soundtrack is composed by Lawrence Chapman, as well as bands Talisk and Fourth Moon, who are a part of the Scottish folk scene, and this one is going to sell for £14.99 or your regional equivalent, but there is a 10% discount available off of that price up until the 11th of December.
Come to the lighthouse, Moira. Come as fast as you can.
Next we have A Long Journey to an Uncertain End. Here you play as a sentient ship, the likes of which have been outlawed for many centuries, and the narrative will see you moving across the universe assembling an unruly crew from an eclectic cast of characters, taking on any job you can find on a number of different planets, moons and space stations. It appears to be heavily narrative based, with each character you recruit bringing their own stories and skill sets aboard and potentially changing your adventure. This one's also out on the 5th and it will sell for £20.99. Also this week we have Born of Bread. This calls itself a wacky and joyful RPG, revisiting turn-based combat tropes. You play as a flower golem who possesses a never-ending childlike wonder and a set of odd abilities. You'll be teaming up with a cast of colourful characters and facing off against menacing and weird baddies, engaging in a fun and quirky turn-based system, so says the blurb. It has that classic Paper Mario look to it, a lovely art style, very charming indeed, and there is a demo available that you can download now if you want to give it a try, but this one will release on the 5th again, and it will sell for £26.99 or your regional equivalent. We also have While the Iron's Hot. Here you'll be playing as an expert blacksmith, proving that the hammer, an anvil and wits can overcome any challenge. You'll step into the boots of a journeyman blacksmith on a quest to become a master, with you forging, smelting and combining works of metal to grow your smithing skills. You'll also be exploring the island, which is filled with resources, treasures and puzzles, and you'll need to rebuild the ruins of the long abandoned blacksmith's village to restore it to its former glory. I always find it quite interesting when games take this angle, where instead of playing as the archetypal hero, you play as more of a support character that you would find in certain films or literature, and take on the hero mantle yourself. This is another one that's out on the 5th, and it will sell for £15.99. The penultimate game for the week then is Outer Wilds. This is an open world mystery about a solar system trapped in an endless time loop. You are the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a fledgling space program searching for answers in a strange and evolving solar system. As mentioned, there is a time loop mechanic in play, and the name of the game is Exploration to find out exactly what's going on. This first released back in 2019 and won a few Game of the Year awards that year, and it will release on the 7th for £20.99, although there is 20% available off of that price up until the 14th of December, and there is also a bundle available, the Archaeologist Edition, which comes with the Echoes of the Eye DLC. Check out the eShop for full prices of those other editions.
What messages will you discover? How can you prevent the sun from exploding? Why is the solar system trapped in an endless time loop?
And finally for the week then we have Xuan Sword, Mists Beyond the Mountains. The Xuan Sword series has been running for many years. It's a series of RPGs, and this is the first of the games to release on the Switch. It says here that the narrative is presented using mythological and historically inspired architectural styles, garb, cuisine and customs, blended with traditional turn-based RPG mechanics and HD painted sprites. You'll take on the role of a heroic knight, leading your party into turn-based battles, and you'll be capturing and fusing enemies into new items and monsters. This is not a series I know anything about, I must say, but I'm definitely intrigued by the trailer, and this one will release on the 8th of December and sell for £12.99. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of these games interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you are looking for eShop credit to pick any of these games up, you can use our website switchup.gg. You can get your eShop cards on there and you'll get yourself 5% back in cash back against your purchase price that you can use against a future purchase, and you'll also get another 5% off in straight discount if you use the code SwitchUp. We've just been given the green light to add Canadian cards, so that's fantastic news. Hopefully we can continue to grow. But yep, if you are in Canada, then we can thankfully now offer you this service too. There's also a link down there to Play Asia if you're looking to import any games. Again, use the link, use the code stated, and you get yourself 5% off of your order from there. As I mentioned, the Devil Engine game at the very beginning is on there. I believe King of Fighters 13 is on there too. So worth a look if you are interested in any of those. Apologies if my voice isn't quite held up for this one. I've had tonsillitis all week and I'm just about over it now, so hopefully it was okay for you to listen to. And just a big thank you to our subscribers and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.